Hey, how's it going guys? This is Dave2D and this is the Asus Transformer 3 Pro. Now it looks very similar to the Surface lineup, in particular the Surface Pro 4. It's obviously been inspired by that lineup, but this has one big difference. This device has a Thunderbolt 3 port, so it allows external GPU connections. Now, as of right now, this is the only tablet that allows that. Future Surface products and future tablets might allow it, but right now, this is the only one. In terms of its build, it feels pretty similar to the Surface Pro 4. Glass up front, magnesium shell. The kickstand on the back can be adjusted to any position. It's stiff, it'll hold its position, but I'm not sure about long-term durability. The mechanism looks like it works through friction between two metal parts, and I don't know if that'll wear down over time, but it's been working great for the past couple of months, so yeah, I think it should be okay. Using it as a tablet, it feels pretty comfortable to use. It's a different shape from the Surface products. Those kind of have a bevel on the edge. This doesn't have that. It's a different feel, but it's still very comfortable to use. Now, I prefer using these two-in-one devices with the detachable keyboards. I find that, there are devices that have the flip-around keyboards, like the Yoga products and the new XPS 13. This is just personal preference, but I like being able to use my tablet one hand without feeling the bottom of the keyboard underneath. I like that. Some people are gonna be different. It's just a matter of personal preference. Port selection on tablets is never amazing. On one side, you have your standard micro SD slot and a volume rocker, and on the other side, we have USB 3, HDMI port, and that Thunderbolt 3 port. This model here is $1,600 US, and it includes a stylus and the attachable keyboard. The Surface Pro 4 has a slightly stronger connection. I think like the magnets are stronger, but this is still pretty secure. The keyboard is backlit. It has a great layout. Like, I wouldn't change a thing on it considering the smaller real estate it has to work with. You can have it go flat or you can have it tilted on an angle. Both are comfortable to use. It's actually really comfortable to use on your lap as well. Everything feels solid. The typing experience is good, not amazing. Decent key travel, but the keys are a little softer or just spongier than I'd like it to be. And when you close it, there's no magnet on the other end to keep it closed like on Surface products. The trackpad could be better. It uses Windows Precision drivers, so I had high hopes. It's glass and the texture is good, but the cursor jumps around sometimes. Not often, but enough for it to be a little bit annoying. I don't think it's hardware. I think a software update would fix it, but as of right now, in early January 2017, it's still an issue. The stylus feels really similar, if not identical, to the stylus for Surface products. It doesn't attach magnetically though, so you gotta bring it around with you like a regular pen. The screen is 12.6 inches, 2880 by 1920, pretty high res. There's letterboxing in most videos because of the aspect ratio, but that's just the nature of tablet screens. It has very good color gamut and color accuracy out of the box. It's not as bright as I feel like it could be or should be. It's bright for a laptop, but because it's a tablet as well, I kind of feel that in some environments, like if you're outdoors, it can feel a little dim. It's running a Skylake CPU. You can get it in either an i5 or an i7, both with Intel HD 520 graphics, 16 gigs of RAM, and solid state drives. The 512 gig drive in my unit isn't particularly fast. I think it's a SATA drive, but I have seen units with newer manufacturing dates that had NVMe drives in them. You can't upgrade the RAM or the drive. You can configure it at purchase, but you can't open it up and upgrade it yourself. Performance for regular use is good. It feels pretty snappy, particularly with the i7. Now, if you stress this thing hard, like on benchmarks, or if you want to edit videos, there is noticeable CPU throttling, and gaming performance on the integrated HD 520 isn't that good. But when you connect it to an external GPU using the Thunderbolt 3 port, that is where this thing shines. So if you're not familiar with an external GPU, it's a box and you basically stick a desktop grade GPU in there. So anything from NVIDIA or AMD, and then you get desktop GPU capabilities in your device. So the Asus Transformer 3 Pro was originally designed to work with the Asus XG Station 2. That's not out yet, it will be soon, but in the meantime, it actually works quite well with the Razer Core. You gotta install some Thunderbolt 3 drivers and you need to get some software to run the whole Razer Synapse thing, but it works. Depending on the card you put in here, you can get some amazing performance. It's a pretty standard performance drop, around 10 to 15% less than a desktop because of the Thunderbolt 3 bandwidth limitations, but it's still good. Remember though, that performance drop, that 10 to 15% number, is only if you're using an external monitor. If you don't want to use a monitor and you want to pipe it back to the display on the Transformer 3 Pro, you lose even more performance. We're looking at 20 to 25%. And if you're curious, that Thunderbolt 3 cable will power and charge the tablet, so it's a pretty sweet setup. Something like Overwatch doesn't have great performance on the integrated HD 520, but I connected a GTX 1080 and you can get some ridiculously good frame rates. One thing to keep in mind, this is a 2-core CPU. There's plenty of games that will run great on a 2-core CPU, but there are games that are more CPU dependent that would do better on a quad-core. So you gotta research your game if you want specific benchmarks. Now in terms of a GPU recommendation, because this is a 2-core CPU and because it doesn't get to clock full speed because of the CPU throttling, I'd recommend maybe a GTX 1060 or even a 980 if your budget's a little bit lower. But you don't wanna just spend money on a card that you can't really make proper use of. VR also had problems working. I tried connecting an Htc Vive, had issues. I'm not sure if it's because of like a port limitation. There is only one USB port on the tablet. The keyboard's actually not bad for gaming. It's kind of strange because it's not even a real keyboard, it's a keyboard cover. I mean, it's not gonna cut it for a 400 APM StarCraft player, but it's a very usable keyboard for games. There's an exhaust up top. It doesn't interfere when you're playing games, but if you're using some more demanding applications while you're holding it in portrait as a tablet, it gets pretty warm up there. The fans don't spin when it's idle, but when it kicks in, it's audible. It's not super annoying or super loud or anything, but you'll know when it's on. Speakers are up front, Harman Kardon branded, but they're very average sounding. They don't get too loud and the bass is pretty weak. The front webcam is 1080p and it has infrared, so it supports Windows Hello for login, which is pretty cool. The back camera is 13 megapixel. It doesn't look great, but I doubt many people are gonna use this anyways, so whatever. Battery life on this thing is relatively short. It's a 39 watt-hour battery. Normal use, like doing work, we're getting around 5 hours of life with the screen at 250 nits. Watching movies, you'll get around 3.5 hours, which is enough to finish most movies, but for a tablet, the battery life is definitely on the lower end of the spectrum. Now, overall, I really like this setup. I don't think that this particular model, like the Transformer 3 Pro, is the perfect version of this, particularly the battery life, but this is the only one you can do it on right now. I love the fact that it's a tablet when you want it to be. You can connect a keyboard when you want to type or just go ham on a keyboard, and even external GPU if you want to play games. It's a super modular system, and I think this is a really good direction for mobile computing. I think if I wasn't making YouTube videos, I would definitely try to make this thing my daily driver. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. It's been nice, and I'll see you guys next time.